Hey everybody, thank you for being here. It is me, Laura Lely, and I am going to read some more tarot. And try to be a vessel for the divine source energy that radiates through all of us and connects to the spark within of who and what we truly are when we connect to our source, God, light, love, truth, the divine energy that is all of us and that connects all of us, that is within us and connects us invisibly, we're going to say. And right now we are going to call upon that divine healing light, guiding, protecting, loving light, sending silver and gold cords from the soles of our feet down through the great Mother Earth, connecting to the crystalline core and releasing all energies that are not serving our highest divine light, opening us up to receive any messages that are important at this time, as we also connect through our crown to the highest divine light and have a cycle of clear, cleansing energy and channel come through us now from the highest divine messages for our highest self, from our highest self, and from the highest divine light, God, source energy, whatever you call it. Okay, we are going to connect now and release all energies that do not serve us, transmuting them through the great Mother Earth, purifying, cleansing, alchemizing them into unconditional love and knowingness that all is truly well. Oh yeah, I was going to use my earbud because I think that maybe helps for the microphone. Talking to the microphone. Can you hear me now? All right. So we are going to use the Archetype cards again by Caroline Miss Mice. Not sure if I say that right. They are the dark and light archetypes. And the message I was getting when I was doing the pre-shuffle with these cards is that you're funny. Spirit's funny. Loves to mess with me. The addict card came up. Addict. The light attribute of the addict helps you recognize and confront addictive behavior, and the shadow attributes compromises integrity and honesty, shows an addictive pattern to have authority over your inner spirit. And there is a rumor. There is a desire that I have sometimes to drink more than I need alcohol, and I do work on that, just lighting some Palo Santo, cleansing all energies. I'm not sure if I'll post this. I'm supposed to also tell stories about my life to help connect to others so that they know they're not alone, but sometimes that's really hard because you don't ever know who's going to see your videos, and then you like worry about what people are going to think, and at the end of the day we really shouldn't give two about what anyone else thinks about us, because they're not living our life, and we each have our own unique path and journey every lifetime that we're coming here. And if we can't share that which helped us to move to a different place on our path, or that helps us to continue to move down our path or up our path, then what can we do? Or why are we here? Aren't we here to be servants? But what I was going to say before I saw this on the bottom of the deck is that the message I got before when I was shuffling these off camera is that these cards signify the light and dark of each card, right? But the dark is what we experience before we experience the light of that energy. So my struggle now is the shadow attribute of the addict, right? As hopefully I'm not compromising my integrity. That's something I've been working on for the last few years. I would say, if you wonder, when I started going through this metamorphosis was around 2018. A lot changed for me then, and I tried to change a lot of things in my life and did change a lot of habits, and then kind of fell back into these habits. So I think, as many of us know, a lot of life is not only trial and error, but so is our path. Or it's cyclical, like, you know, it kind of comes around and you do good and then you do better and then you do worse and then you do good again, and then it kind of spirals up or it spirals down. So it's kind of like one big spiral is what our path and our journey is, versus it being some linear timeline where everything's just hunky-dory all the time. You just get to the next step. No, you have to go through these ups and downs or these cycles in order to move out of them. But until you complete that cycle, it's going to loop you back into it every single time. And that could be the same thing for a relationship or for a job. If you're in a job that does not serve your highest timeline, highest energetic frequency, then something will take you out of that job. And if you go into another job that is in that same vibration or frequency, it's going to happen again and again until you find a job that cycles you into a higher timeline. Otherwise, we just keep cycling in that timeline or in a lower timeline. I'm judging myself right now. And when I do that, whenever we judge ourselves, then we open the door for ourselves to judge one another and be judged. So when we close that one out, like you do in darts, you close out the numbers. And until you close it out, other people can score on your numbers that are still open, right? That's kind of the same thing for judgment or comparison, or, you know, the things that we do that are toxic behaviors that we're all just used to doing. So no one sees it as toxic anymore, which is kind of sad, but such is life, you know. Anyways, we are gonna just see what needs to come out. Martyr keeps coming up. I don't even know how to say the word martyr. The light attribute, learning the transcendent nature of service to oneself or a cause. And then the shadow attribute of that is addiction to self-pity. And we're only a victim when we believe we're a victim, right? When we believe everything is happening to us instead of for us. What came out before that, though? The warrior and the destroyer. Wow. The warrior. Light attributes of the warrior. I feel like I'm going to read the dark first because that's what you go through before you get into that light attribute, right? So the shadow attributes is trading ethical principles for victory at any cost, indifference to the suffering inflicted on others. And the light attribute of the warrior is strength, skill, discipline, and toughness of will. Heroism, stoicism, and self-sacrifice in conquering the ego. And that was another message I was getting before this is, like the ego is kind of like the devil, whereas the intuition is like God, Jesus Christ consciousness. The destroyer, light at the shadow attributes of the destroyer card. Ooh, so much stuff has been flying out of my hands today. I was going to do my nails, so please don't mind them. One day I will do them again. Until then, deal with it. All right, shadow attributes. Intoxication with destructive power, destroying others' dreams or potential. And I think sometimes people don't even realize how easily they can crush other people's dreams just by talking shit about a specific thing that people don't realize is your thing. And then the light attribute of the destroyer is releasing what is potentially destructive and preparing for new life. And the other card that came out with this was the child divine, which we got child wounded the other night, right? So the shadow attribute of the child divine, an inability to defend oneself against negative forces. And I feel like as a child, that's something that we are not able to do. And that's why we have our parents, right? They are our defenders until we become able to do it for ourselves. However, if we have any types of things that wounded us as a child, those wounds, unless they are properly healed, will still be open and able to be affected as we become adults. So we are still a wounded child. This is a child divine though. So a divine child, an inability to defend oneself against negative forces. The light attributes of the child divine, innocence, purity, and redemption, suggests a special connection with the divine. All right. And the alchemist. The shadow attribute of the alchemist is the misuse of power and knowledge that came through spiritual practice. And what I get with that just right now, hearing that, was secret societies, people involved in secret societies aware of the way to manipulate spirits and the world, and using power for their own self-gain instead of using it to assist the humanity. It was only to assist the small percent, the few versus the many. And then the light attribute of the alchemist is transformation of base motives and goals into golden wisdom. And what is alchemy besides alchemizing lead into gold, or water into wine, which earlier I got the message maybe it was wine into water, because which one's more useful for a human body, wine or water? So why would we alchemize water into wine? Anyways, all messages that came through earlier that are supposed to tie into this message here. So thank you for being here, everybody. If I didn't already say that, I appreciate your support and just for watching this video. If you feel like it, you can like it, and if you don't feel like it, don't like it. It's your choice. Messiah. The shadow attribute. Exaggerated belief that you are the only means through which a cause can succeed. And in my opinion, teamwork makes the dream work. So the more of us that are able and willing to help the cause is going to just bring it through quicker and also stronger, with a stronger foundation, right? The light attribute of Messiah is serving humanity with humility. I have in my mind right now, what's coming through is people wanted to know what made me want to change in 2018. What was the catalyst for me kind of waking up to our reality, or waking up to a higher, and understanding that there is something higher than myself out there. Because for a lot of life, I battled with the idea of God, and if there really is one, why do people suffer? And those types of things. And I think it's a lot more, there's a lot more to the concept and the idea and the creation of what is God, and the knowingness that it's not just this Bible and this person, this, angry sky daddy that yells, you're gonna burn in hell if you don't repent your sins. I don't see that being what God really is. We're all a part of God. Do you see us doing that to one another? Well, yeah, sometimes I guess we do, right? But what I mean by that is we are all connected to a higher source and a higher power, and I'd like to believe that that highest source and power is a loving, caring, abundant, resourceful energy that we co-create with while we're here on earth. We're here as an extension of that source energy to co-create a better world. That's why we're actually here, not just to suffer and not just to go to work, pay bills, and die. We're here to do more than that. Transformation 2018. Why did it start? My niece was born in 2017. And she kind of changed my whole world and made me realize that there is much more to care about in this world. And I was in a kind of a dark place for kind of a long time. And she brought such light to my life that I wanted to protect her and her light, because she is such a special child. And I know it sounds like I'm being biased, but I do believe all children are special, and they all carry this light to the earth, and they're much closer to source energy when they come in to the planet, because they just got here, right? And so they haven't been weighed down with the burdens of the world yet in their young, innocent state. And so I just saw her enormous light, and I wanted to protect it. And so I started, just things that in my life kind of just started falling away, and things that I thought were important became less important. And, people became more, I'm not sure what I'm trying to say there. I just know that my niece was a big catalyst for me wanting to do better or trying, you know, and like I said, I've cycled up, I've cycled down, and I keep trying to do better every day and be more aware of my thoughts and actions and how I could help make this world a better place for her to grow up in and have a future in. Because it is ultimately about the children, right? And their future and what they're doing in this world. And I just think we're here to help them and support them and love them and keep them safe. And if we can create a better world for them to be a part of, they will be more safe. Okay. Soul's Journey is what's jumping out next. So we're just going to take a look at these cards. I'm not sure how long I will record a video for. I have some pyrite here. Fool's Gold, which is also, though, a good crystal to use for manifestation and abundance. And then I've got a Lemuria stone that I got when I was in California not too long ago, and I also got these cool stones when I was in California, like volcanic stone, red and yellow, kind of groovy. Anyway, not sure why I felt compelled to show you those, but you're welcome. I think I do that. This is a really cool amethyst geode that I have, and that's supposed to be good for your sleep. So put it next to you while you're sleeping, not like this. That would hurt. If you put it like on a nightstand next to you, that would be the smart way. Dragon's blood. And we're all dragons, right? Hold on a second here. Let's see. Oop, I just unplugged my light. Speaking of lights. Oh, well, we'll just keep it like this. If it got awful, well, I guess you had to see the ugly truth one day or another, right? Eventually. Just sending myself some love because I say silly things and just who I am. So I can't be guilty. I can't feel guilty all the time for just being who I am, right? I release any beliefs that no longer assist in my soul's growth. Honesty. I can't always expect the truth from others, but I can expect it from myself. Now ain't that the truth? All right, any other cards from the Soul's Journey lesson cards that need to come through? We're just going to see if anything jumps out. And then also, speaking of jumping out, comes down to it again, let your faith be bigger than your fear. I realize that I am testing my resolve to live in the energy of love, right? Love conquers all. Fear is false evidence appearing real. We set up these ideas that we need to be worried and scared for certain reasons about certain things, and then we start like creating that reality for ourselves and living in that reality, believing that everything is out to get us and everyone's against us and la 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 la. Everything's happening to us. Nothing's happening for us. That whole effing fear paradigm. And it's a program that's been running for a very long time, and we've just been, kind of brought into it. It wasn't our fault, but it is on us to be aware of it and conquer it and say, hey, I realize that I am testing my resolve to live in the energy of love. And when you always try to stay in that space of love, fear, it can't touch you, bro. It can't touch you. It can't even come in there because that love is up here, and fear is such a low vibration. Like, it's like ping. So here's love up here, and it's like ping, ping, trying to get through, and it's like it just can't. All right, this is bothering me, so I'm going to try to plug that light back in. Un momento. Oh, I hope you didn't see my pants because I am wearing them. This is getting awkward. Anyways, they just don't match what I'm wearing. Okay, let's just continue and then say I am grateful. I have gratitude. I am thankful for this life and the opportunities that it presents. All right. Gratitude. I am grateful for this life and the opportunities that it presents, and growth. I want to expand my consciousness and my awareness. And that was a big catalyst too for my awakening, or, spiritual path that I come to be on, or call it. Like, just being aware that we are aware, right? Like the awareness of our existence, the awareness of our ability and our energies, the way they affect other people in this existence are huge. When you don't understand how powerful you are, then usually your power is being either kind of like siphoned through other channels. And by that I mean your energy is being taken away from you by, like, let's say some type of sports division or rivalry, or politics usually is a big one for people, or even just disagreeing with a coworker or something like that. Like that takes your power away from you. When you realize that your energy is your currency in this reality, you are more careful about where you spend your currency, your energy, your time. Where are your thoughts going? Am I thinking about people or things or situations that don't serve me or serve my highest good, and they don't bring me joy, they don't bring me love, they don't bring me happiness, and I don't have grace towards those things? So, I've used this example in other videos that are now private, but I talked about how one time back in the day when I was much more into sports, like being a Green Bay Packer fan made me kind of dislike or even potentially hate. I didn't realize how strong it was, but it was in my heart. It was like in the fabric of who I am. Like not like the Bears or not like the Vikings, because those are two of our biggest rivals. And so like anybody, I wouldn't even consider dating somebody if they were a Bears fan or a Vikings fan. And I mean, how shallow is that ultimately? Truly, how shallow is it to say, I find this person wonderfully magnificent and, everything about them is fabulous except for they like the wrong team? Like, surface level shit, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Anyways, that was just kind of, those are certain beliefs that are instilled in us from a young age that we don't realize we take on, instead of evolving and deciding, is that my belief or is that somebody else's belief? And I just took that on and now I'm carrying it on and I'm going to pass it along to my kids or whatever. It's like we just keep passing shit, literal actual like piles of shit from generation to generation until we realize, hey, enough with that shit already. Let's cut that shit out and do better, right? And BT Dub, speaking of, I was also shuffling some of my, spiritual AF cards that I was so excited about the other night. And this came out, and so I just wanted to read it. Guess who ain't gotta explain shit to nobody? You. Quit trying to explain yourself to everyone. No one has to understand your brand of cuckoo. You gotta own your shit. But that's a whole lot different than trying to get everyone to sign off on whatever weirdness you want to create. So get on with your freaky little self, you freaky little F-U-C-K. So many swear words in these cards, and I'm not trying to get like strikes and stuff, but it's so true. We don't have to explain ourselves to anyone, and we don't have to get anyone to try to like jump on board with, this is who Laura is, she's kind of this and that, and it's like I'll find myself sometimes trying to explain why I am, and I'm like, meh, you know what? I'm not for everyone, and that's okay. But I love me, and so whether or not you do, that's your choice. But the most important thing is to love yourself where you're at every step of your journey, and know that everyone else is on a different part of their path. So if we can be more empathetic and compassionate with them on where they're at on their journey, then we'll all be a little bit nicer to ourselves and to one another. On that note, oh, did you hear that? My back just cracked. Angels and Ancestors or Shaman's Dream Oracle? Neither. We're going to go with The Spirit Animal by Colette Baron Reed. All right. And then for real, we're going to cut this out. Cut it out. Otter spirit on the bottom. You are never alone. Isn't that the truth? We forget because we're here, we're in these human bodies, but we are all connected to one another and to the highest divine light of source, light, love, God, Christ consciousness. Jesus Christ is our brother. That's what I just heard. Like, we are all children of the highest divine light, wherever that began, or where, if it, it's a continual existence, because I'm just going to go off on another tangent, and I'm going to hold back, but you're never alone. That was the whole point here. We are source energy experiencing ourselves as a fractal of source for the highest good of the expansion of our consciousness and our soul, and to become masters, all of us, okay? And that's the other thing that was coming through before I turned on the camera, is that there's in the Bible, I think it's in Matthew, saying that many are called, but few are chosen. And then another part of it that says, those with ears to hear, I can't remember. Something about listening, but those with ears to hear. And it's like, well, we all have ears. And maybe we just don't hear the message until we're ready in our hearts and our minds, until something happens in our life that is a catalyst to turn that part of our brain or our heart or both on, right? Okay. What is the last final message we need to know from our spirit animal oracle? That came out fast, and that's way too many. No, but I will take the one on top. Panther spirit. Reclaim your power, bro. You forgot how powerful you were, didn't you? That's okay. We all did. We had to come in, forget everything so that we could remember. Because if we knew everything that was going to happen, we probably wouldn't go through those lessons if we knew how hard they were going to be and how much they were going to hurt or how much heartbreak it would involve. And so every single lesson is for our own growth. And until we learn that lesson, we're going to have, it's like that dartboard example again. People are just going to keep fucking throwing those darts in our wounds and getting points off us until we can heal and move forward, and then find people that are better yoked for us and our, present moment. And staying in the present moment is one of the other things. Oh yeah, that was the other card that came out with the spiritual. Okay, the present moment is fucking amazing. Open up your eyeballs and look around. Even if you happen to be in the shittiest of shit times, there's probably something beautiful to notice right this very second. It could be that babies have eyelashes, and how could babies get any fucking cuter than having little baby eyelashes? That's awesome. Or maybe it's just that you took a breath and you didn't think you'd be able to do that. You did it! Amazeballs, you fucking breathed. All right. Thank you, everyone, for being here, coming by, all of that, bringing your energy and just, being a part of this world and, getting up every day and just fighting the good fight, Thank you for doing that, because without you, we wouldn't be all here together as a collective, trying to do our best every day to do whatever it is we came here to do, and do it in the place of love and knowing that we're all on a different part of our path, and I can't say that enough. There's no need for us to compare or judge. Just allow ourselves to be who we are and what we are for the highest good of ourselves and the highest good of all involved, and let's quit being little assholes and judging everyone. Hey, everybody, thanks for stopping by. See you on the next one. Wake up and dream big. Love you.